Her name was Elena, a 24-year-old girl living alone in New York City. She worked as a graphic designer and spent most of her days surrounded by screens, colors, and silence. Her life looked fine to everyone, but inside she was lonely in a way words could never explain. Every night when she returned home from work, she made coffee, opened her laptop, and scrolled endlessly through social media, looking at other people's happiness, wondering why her own life felt so empty. One evening, while she was posting one of her art designs online, a stranger reacted to it and sent her a message. His name was Ryan, a photographer from Chicago. His first message said that her art made him feel something real, something he couldn't describe. She smiled, replied politely, and didn't think much about it, but that was the start of something she would never forget. They began talking every day, first about art and photography, then about life, then about everything in between. He told her about his travels, his dreams, and his broken past. She told him about her loneliness, her fears, and the small things that made her feel alive. What started as small conversations turned into deep midnight talks. She found herself waiting for his messages, smiling at her phone without realizing it, falling asleep with her headphones on just to hear his voice one last time. For the first time in years, she felt alive again. She didn't know when it happened, but she had fallen in love with him, with his words, his voice, and the way he saw her when nobody else did. Months passed. They still hadn't met in person, but their connection was stronger than most real relationships. Ryan would send her photos of sunsets, lonely streets, and raindrops on his window, and she would make art from them and send it back. They created a little world together, a world only they understood. One night he said, "Do you believe in soulmates?" And she laughed softly and said, "I didn't until now." That night, both of them knew something had changed forever. But life has a cruel way of testing the things we love. Ryan got a big opportunity to travel, abroad for a photography project that would take months. He was nervous, she was proud, but both of them were scared to lose what they had. Before leaving, he said, "Promise me you'll wait for me," and she said, "Promise me you won't forget me." He smiled, and she watched his plane leave through her phone screen. For the first few weeks, they talked every day. Then slowly the messages became shorter, the calls fewer, and one day the silence stayed longer than usual. She told herself he was busy, but deep inside she knew something was changing. She kept checking her phone every few minutes, waiting for his text, hoping his name would light up her screen again, but it never did. Weeks turned into months. She texted him again and again, asking if everything was okay, if she had done something wrong, but there was no reply. One day she opened his Instagram and saw a new post. It was a photo of him standing with a group of strangers, smiling. The caption said, "New beginnings." That night she sat on her bed and stared at the screen until her eyes blurred with tears. She deleted his pictures, their chats, their songs, but no matter what she deleted, she couldn't delete the feeling he left behind. A year passed. She changed apartments, got a better job, started pretending to be fine. Her friends told her she looked happier, but only she knew that every night she still opened her drafts folder to read the letter she once wrote for him but never sent. In that letter she had written, "I don't know if you'll ever read this, but I need to say it anyway. You were my favorite person, my safe place, and my biggest heartbreak. I don't hate you, Ryan. I just miss who we were before life changed us. Maybe we were never meant to last forever. Maybe we were just meant to feel something beautiful once." She saved that letter and never sent it. Time kept moving, but some part of her stayed frozen in that goodbye. Every time she saw a camera or a sunset, she thought of him. Every time her phone buzzed, her heart skipped a beat before she realized it wasn't him. She dated other people, but nobody made her feel the way he did when he said her name like it mattered. Love like that doesn't die. It just hides behind the noise of life, waiting for one small moment to come back. 2 years later, on a cold December night, she was coming home from work when she got a notification. It was a message request on Instagram. The name made her heart stop. Ryan Carter. Her hands trembled as she opened it. The message was short. It said, "I'm sorry for everything. I thought leaving without goodbye would make it easier for both of us. I was wrong. I still think of you every day. If you ever want to talk, I'm here." She stared at the screen for a long time. All the memories rushed back like waves hitting the shore. But this time she didn't cry. She just smiled softly, typed a small reply and wrote, "I'm glad you're okay. Thank you for the memories." Then she turned off her phone, looked out the window and let the silence stay. That night she realized something. Some people come into our lives not to stay forever, but to teach us how to feel. how to love, and how to let go. Ryan had been her greatest love and her greatest loss. And though her heart still ached when she thought of him, she finally understood that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering without pain. Years later, when someone asked her if she still believed in love, she smiled and said yes. But I also believe that not all love stories are meant to have endings. Some are meant to live quietly inside us, like a song we never stop hearing, even after the music fades.